Hi, class. First, I'm really happy with your submissions. This is a good group, and um, I want you to feel very proud of the work that you produced in just your first week. So, good job with that. I'm going to jump right in. I'm going to be looking at this as a first time user, so um, I won't, be reading anything before I look at this. I'm just going to tell you what it's like as for usability and everything in that way. So let's jump in. I love how clean this is. It's very easy to understand. And while I can read this, I think a little bit of space would be helpful. Um, the other thing you could do is make this just a little bolder every other one or something like that. But I think you need a little space there. Something to think about. Probably want to make that just a little bit bigger, even if it works as far as giving your aesthetic, a nice hierarchy. Um, it can be difficult to read. Here, it's all right that it's larger here than here, but yeah, I want to see how that works throughout, especially on your mobile. Um, okay. Let's see. Maybe a little bigger. Let's try not to have one word on a line. And same here, if you can try and get that onto one line. And this looks good because it's a cap and then a period, and we're used to seeing that, but it's not really a sentence. So, I get torn. Like maybe you should go ahead and have, quality video production for quality entertainment. Um, think about whether you need a period there or, other caps, right? Nice. It's all really clean. I like that. And I like that you at least have your LinkedIn. Probably eventually consider moving into adding an Instagram, but not necessarily for you. You're not a media strategist and you're not um, making that kind of content. So it's possible that all you need is a LinkedIn and a website. Um, it just depends on how much you want to push your work out. Again, let's left align this and make this just slightly larger so we can read it. We want to get everything, this is for everyone, we want to get everything above the scroll as much as possible. We want to reduce clicking and reduce scrolling. But I do like that you have really limited your work so far. And you have. All right. So you have these here, which we're going to assume they correspond this way, but we have 4. So we don't want to make people have to work too hard, but I do like how clean it is. I do really like that. So, this is apparently your credit line, but I'm not sure we're covering everything. Possibly when we link on something else. Okay, make sure that they are embedded. We don't want to send anybody off our site to YouTube. Okay, nice and clean. Okay, you want to work on the mobile, which is easy. You're just going to go into when you go into your editor, you're going to click mobile and you'll be able to make some changes there. You can see something overlapping here. So you'll work on that. Yeah. So you're just going to work mostly on your mobile. Yeah, I'm going to get that down here. Work on the spacing. Yeah, so not a big deal. Not a big deal. I mean, it looks like it's cut in half, but you're going to be able to fix that. All right, great start. I love how clean it is, how easy it is to understand. Good job. Antonio, let's fix this because, we can't read your name, and that's really important. Otherwise, the layout's good. This is an image of you, and that's good. It's tough to get parallax scrolling over something to work. Put the date here, update this. Good. See. You could even make those possibly a little bigger, just a little. Oh, let's see. Maybe you want just, one place instead of two. You might be able to take a little space out of here. And like I said, you either have to move this image over a little bit. See, this is a line, so that's nice. The other alternative is to make a very light drop shadow. That's, in this case, white. And we don't really want it to show up except here. So, if it were me, I would go in and try and hedge a little room here and there. Probably take shaving off just a little on one side. I mean, if I had to doctor the image, I would do something so we can easily read this, okay? Because of this. And rename your files so that when people scroll over them, there's something short and simple. It also will help with usability. Screen readers will be able to read images, and for people who can't have low vision, that is. And also, it will also help with SEO, search engine. Hard to read, a little hard to read, maybe too light because of these strokes. And so everybody check that. This reads easily as far as the weight, but this stroke is tough. So I see that a lot. So make sure that everybody is thinking about that. Okay, of course it works well here. Okay. And another point is it could be that this actually clears a little more on your screen. You got to check different browsers. Okay. I'm going to try and speed up because I do want everybody to look at all of these. Make sure that you have padding between your videos so they're not butted up like that together. And you're going to need your asset guides for every work. Check your kerning. That is the space between. There is a game that we play when people show up to live sessions, and that is called kern type. So you can go online and find that game and play with it, and you'll get an eye for it, but you can see that the spacing is not right. Okay, so fix that. And a little bit of leading, and that is the line spacing, space between the lines, all right? But this, of course, reads very well. Again, we're losing these strokes. All right. We just need this in one place. Yeah, take a look at that. So yours is already, your template is set up for mobile. This, of course, is again a problem that we have. So, whether we have to bring the title down, but you have artwork there. Think about it. I mean, maybe it just goes to black, and you bring your work up. All right. Let's see. Yep, you're going to fix that. Make sure you're using only 2 fonts throughout, this one and body copy. This looks good together. Update this. All right, great start. Look forward to seeing where this goes. All right, let's see. This, we need to remove the previous logo and make your logo larger. And, okay. Let's see. Okay. You've got a lot of skills listed. And again, same thing with the line weight. Okay, that's a nice shot. Wouldn't be bad to open with any one of those. We're you might need to optimize it because it's coming up slow. We're really coming up from black, which might be okay, except we have this going on at the bottom. And that makes it look like everything's off screen. Do at least include some sort of break between this, because they don't all go together. The one with the eye, it's the indoor-outdoor kind of thing. This and this, the coloring worked, but this outdoor, the coloring doesn't necessarily work with it. You know, it would need to blend a little bit better. This needs to be a little larger so we can read it. Probably not a script font. Okay, probably not necessarily italic. This is an interesting shot, and if it didn't overlap with this, so you might have to freeze this with an opaque background so that we can see. This is working okay, but this gets a little confusing and distracting. Again, update that font. It's just too lightweight in some places. So this is fascinating. This might make a good cover shot or something. Hard to read this lettering. You might have to have a little bit darker background here. This opacity may need to, the transparency may need to be reduced, increase the opacity. Okay, but interesting. Little heavier maybe. All right, so great start, and you've got your work loaded, and that's awesome. Yeah, the eye is a great beginning. This isn't working on top of the video. It's too hard to read, and it doesn't have to be there. Okay. Sometimes if we have important content, we just need to provide it someplace else where it's just the content and easier to read. Not too bad. We do want to be careful about overlaying type like this, and that's something to think about when you are creating your thumbnails. Try and leave space for the player icon, that kind of thing, and the title. You can push things up a little, and then when it does overlay, it'll work out. So really hard to read. And you can edit this down for mobile. You know, you could say, director, writers, let's see, DP of short film, or, the title. And, for this, you can edit down a little bit for your mobile. And we don't need this on top of it. That's not working. We don't want to cover up faces, and the video looks great, looks very interesting. I want to see it, but this doesn't belong there. This belongs on your works page. And then, let's see, what is this? This is a little distracting, but this cropped, you can keep the doorknob cropped a little bit. That's not a bad shot, but I don't know if the resolution, how good that is. But this should be a perfectly fine about image right here without all the overlaying. Okay. This font's a little easier to read, but we do want to edit this down on our mobile site. Okay. Same thing there. So something like this is a great image. This would come below it. And I'm not even sure it's necessary. But if you want it to be there, you can put it here and then have this. And so we can look at this image, which is lovely, right? Yeah, it's just too much overlaying. This is a really great little clip but let's make it a video. Let's not type over it. Put it in your works page, right? But let's keep our content free of overlaying so much. Too much overlaying. Okay, this looks great. Let's not do this. Okay, this would come down like this, you know, 3 or 2 paragraphs is probably fine. So you've got a great start. You've definitely got the work. I don't think this is anything from your template, but let's definitely stop the overlaying of the images. Okay, great start. It's going to be beautiful. Okay, Kyle, nice. Little hard to read, just a little. These look great together. We need your copyright information and so forth down here. I don't know if this is the best color or if a light blue would be nice, given the colors that you're using here. Something to think about. Okay, so you've got 3 works, easy to understand. Okay, so something's going on there. Something is behind that. The color bars, you know. I'm not a fan of things that are both italic, seemingly bold, and underlined. So let's simplify that. You could put this font probably large, would look nice. It'd be large enough. And then we have a different font here. So otherwise, this is just the right amount, maybe a little bit of space here. Try not to have one word on a line. So you want to break the paragraph up just a little. It's easy to read though. I don't think you need this extruded drop shadow here effect. I think it's not necessary because you can read the font. Whether it's in gold or white on black, you're going to be able to read it. I don't know about this. I'm not sure what this image tells me. I don't think you need it. I would rather just come up here and have everything we need. I want to see asset guides included. Okay. But we see exactly what you do, videographer. Love that. And this is a nice abstract in color, goes well with black. I really like it. I think in this case, you're going to want to center that. And maybe have some info down here, but probably center that. The yellow does look good with the blue on this very simple page. Okay. So this space we want to take care of. Get that out. Bring that up. There's room for a logo if at some point. Let's cut this down, especially for your mobile site. And let's include some padding on the left a little bit. Yeah, no drop there. Need your form there and your social media and less space. You cut that down and put a white icon there for social media. Get rid of this space and all this and this. All right, it's going to look great. You've got, you know, good selection that you chose, and we can see exactly what it is you do. Good job. Okay. Let's see. Let's not put this in this font. Let's make it a simpler font, and you can see we don't need a white glow around it. However you did that with, a drop shadow that's blurred, however you did it, let's not. And let's use something simple, a simpler font like this. You can take this off. I just, wanted you to save it as that. Okay. This is working. I'm not sure you need it doubled like this, but this background is working okay. A little more padding for sure here and here. Let's cut this down. Let's, definitely cut this down to 2 or 3 words. Okay. The thing about a slogan versus a tagline just says exactly what it is your service is. And if we think about Nike can say, just do it, and we know it's Nike. They can have their swoosh logo, and we know it's Nike. But we're not Nike, and we're not a household brand, and most companies aren't, even well-known ones. And so we can't get away with using a slogan. We have to tell them, that we were a athletic gear and apparel company or something. We have to spell it out for them because we're not Nike. So keep that in mind. You need to tell us exactly what you do. And we would like to see it on every page because we don't know which page a user is going to enter your site. So if there's anything, we know exactly in our mind what we do, but making that really simple. And then for SEO purposes, for search engine optimization, that's we want to think about what keywords that people actually are looking for. So it's not just what our industry calls something, it's what would the average user, the one who's hiring us, what are they looking for when they do a search? Are they looking for videographer? Are they looking for cinematographer? And you will be searching those things this month. You'll look at Google Trends and you'll see which one actually is searched more often. All right, so this is the template, and can't say anything about that except that this needs to come down. This comes out, just, save your file this way, and then this is just going to be very, very short. You can put and I can't read it here, but you can put your studio. And then, digital arts or something. And then we will know, could be, digital motion arts if you want. Digital visual arts, whatever, but keep it simple. And good. All right, so this is more of a wireframe almost, okay? All right, so you've got some things to work out there. Biggest thing is this, bring that down, I think, to the bottom. The layout will work for you once you do this. The white isn't going to work for you. The white on white. Definitely going to need to provide more padding. So go in there and do that and take out couple of paragraphs. Okay, edit that. And we've lost your navigation. So that's something to think about. Can't find it. Even if it's there. Okay. All right. It's going to look nice once you get it going. And like I said, I don't think you're going to be able to do, well, I know you're not going to be able to do the white on white. You might be able to do a solid light gray, which, let's see if I can find that color for you. A little darker than this, and just without any kind of treatment on it, okay? All right. This is a good font. All right. Okay, good start. Okay, font issues. That's what we want to look at, the type. Let's left align this. Let's not put a box around this. We can make this a question right here, and it doesn't need to be blocked. It can just go a little smaller and be right in here with a little bit of spacing. And this is, very intriguing with the red background and the orange, and that works. The resolution isn't working for this, so you kind of need a just a stronger resolution sample if you have it, or reduce this in size, but it's too blurry, and so that's important. This, let's not put it on the image, okay? Let's crop this image a little bit, about this much, and let's move your navigation either over here, here, maybe here, with a vertical navigation. Let's not use this color. You can use navy, kind of a lightish blue, or the orange, and I recommend this orange color. Okay, so those are the colors you're going to want. You're going to want this blue, the orange, not this color. It's not really working. It might have to be the orange. And, an ecru, or a kind of, one of these colors. So what you need is a style guide. And so what you would do is take this image into a color palette generator. You can go to canva.com. You can go to Coolors, Coolor, and upload this image, and it will give you a color palette to work with, and you can play around with that. That will help you know what color. So let's not do this or this. Let's use the same color, and maybe something like this will look good on the red. All right, and all of it's going to be in that. All that text is going to be in that. Okay, this, not sure about that. Okay, this, everything has to be aligned. All the spacing has to be the same. Try and have one line, or for a header, if you're going to have two, everything has to be the same size. This is smaller than this, and what you have to do is you have to look at the longest phrase that you have, and then everything else, you fit that in, and everything else has to fit with it. Okay, so if this is going to be your longest subtitle, this has to be the same size. Okay, or you have to edit this. You could take services off, probably. Weekly meal prep is probably fine. So editing is really important. We want this definitely to align. This color is getting close to something you might be able to use. Maybe, but we would want to make it the same. We've got too many colors. You're going to streamline. That's what you're looking for. You could say local only. Okay. Okay. Then we'll look at this and keep it simple, like the name right here. Okay, this is fine. This is fine. But this blue, we're gonna think about it. As far as working with your red, you might have to find something else other than this. Okay, I wouldn't put her name. I would put a slash here and put her name here. And I don't think you need this because we can't, it's probably a really good story, but it's small here and we don't want it really big, but, and is that even, I'm not sure that's where it goes. I'm not sure that right here is where your testimony goes. Maybe you have a whole page for testimonies and they're not huge. They're just, so think about that. Classes about, yeah. Okay. So yeah, I would stick to this kind of theme, the orange and the denim. Okay. This you're going to move either over here, if you move it over here, there won't be as much scrolling. If you moved it here, there's a little more scrolling. Okay. And I can't see your mobile, so I can't give you feedback on that. All right, but be sure to watch everybody else's so you can get the idea. Let's make this more of the orange. This is a good color scheme. See this? This could really help tie it together, even with this gray. Maybe your font's in this gray color. It's better not to have this covering up the letters over that, but that's not the bigger issue here. Okay. But what is the home page and pulling it all together, and this color palette right here could do it. Okay. All right. All right. I'm looking forward to seeing this again. Okay. And I think this, all right. All right. I can read all this and it's clear and it's all above the scroll. So that's all amazing. Make sure that this is optimized because video will definitely slow your sight down. Really clear. Contrast is good. Good. I guess it's okay that it dissolves in. Let's make this the same. It's not the same. The leading here, line to line, this has more space between lines than this. And it might even be, it almost feels like a different font. It could just be spacing. Okay. All right. But otherwise, and that's okay if it comes up to here, great shot. Nice, colorful, clean. Let's take this empty space out and just come up to here. Nice. Everything's above the scroll. Nice. And it looks like you did some editing on that image. Good job. Okay. Let's see. Nice. Okay. And I don't know if you're able to shorten that, but and you can always say title, and shorten some of these. Well, you would have to be consistent if you shortened your titles, of course. But it's always good to keep everything on one line if you can, as you have here. Make sure you've got the same amount of space between everything. Okay, that one. Very cool. All right. I like what you're doing. Nice. Okay. And so this one doesn't have a thumbnail, but you used a thumbnail here that didn't have a title, and that was great. It was interesting. The shot's good. Good thinking. Okay, we kind of, I feel like, huh, I guess it is a peach. Thought it was more of an orange. Okay, all right. And these are linked up, and make sure you carry a brand across. That would mean your font that you're using for your name. We only need this in one place. We've got it in 3 places here. Just something to think about. And I can't see your mobile. All right, so check that out. Great start. Clean, easy to read. I don't know what kind of visuals you do, but I do here. So we just want to fix this because of that stroke, that font. I know it may have been in the template. And, you know, here's something to think about, guys. Every time you check out, sorry, I'm trying not to say guys, every time we look at a template, we find that we think that it's perfect the way it is and that that's why it's a template, but it isn't. So something to think about. This never sounds right. And I see it all the time, and I have to ask students to change it. When it says, so we can create creative projects together. When we write, we usually don't repeat a word if we can help it. It's not the best, it doesn't sound best, it's not the best way to write. So feel free to totally change this. And need a little spacing here, okay? But, and again, this font's hard to read as it is, but it's looking good. You've got it laid out good. This probably should come up okay, so this is, it's different. Hold on. So when I go here, it feels like it's taking up the whole frame, but it isn't, because now I've got a video down here, and I think you want it to take up the whole frame. And then let us scroll to the next one if you want. These accompany each other okay. They kind of feel similar enough in color and so forth, but breaking it up on a frame, that isn't going to work for you. So you're going to want to make it, each one, a little deeper. Otherwise, make it a gallery where we go, you know, through them. That could work for you too. All right? Because I think you've got good work there, and I want it to show the best possible light. Okay, this is a little large. Okay, I don't want to, you know, maybe something a little bit smaller. And if you're going to do this, go ahead and make a form. Because really what you're saying is, contact me, here's something coming up, info, contact me, here I am. Okay, when really what we want is the info to contact you when we say that. So let's go ahead and just probably put a form, or take this off and leave this down here and put your info right here. You know, something like that. Try and make this one line. All right. Let's see. Yeah, and then it's hard to read. So I think you understand, and it's broken, the flow. So I think you can see that when we tell them we're going to have something on a page, we want it to be above the scroll. We want them to get it right away, because we've made a promise. And this can go bigger for sure on your mobile. And I have a problem finding your navigation. You know, it's there, but I don't see it. Okay, cut that down, make it easier to read. And can't see if that link is working. Okay, it's not bad here, right? Because it's not cutting the frame in half. So it works here, but not on the desktop. Okay, all right, we talked about that. All right, terrific start. couple tweaks. All right, nice work. Okay, that's a beautiful image. We need, I think, some space rather than being cut right into it. I feel like this needs to go with your logo, and I think you need a line weight that is closer to this line weight and a little more whimsical here. Possibly alternative, all caps, and possibly in gray or black. Try it with that and see how this works with it as a logo. Yeah, you want the logo to be next to the words. Okay. And it wouldn't need to go here. You could bring this down center because you've got space, and you could put that right in the center. And you could put 3 Friends Farm can go under it. That's just another option. But you're very, very close. Try and make sure you optimize this so that it pops up quicker. Okay. 3 Friends Farm. That's hard to say. I think it needs to be, instead of deep. Also, try it centered. I don't think that's the solution. I think probably on one line with the logo above it is. But something to think about. Okay. We want this to be a little closer together. We want to group our content a little bit. And so, yeah, let's do that and have a little more padding. Yeah, bring those closer together. You possibly can remove the opacity a little bit on this and make it a, rectangle. It might even work in this font in white here. It might even work in this dark color there if 3 Friends Farm was in this color. Okay, things to think about. Whoops. Okay, need a little space. Try not to have rounded buttons because most everything else you've chosen is not rounded. This is, but you've got a lot of angles. So try to make that an angle, not rounded. Yeah, instead of this box, I think you want to maybe use this color. And black is okay. So is that color for your submit button. I don't like the purple rollover. Okay. Maybe use this as a rollover in a very light shade. Okay, so this looks quite different. A little crowded. Yeah, I think this font's is what you want to work on. And you're going to need, some padding around things. You've got padding here. Not a lot, but you do. Put a little less space here. Okay. You also can bring this down a little, give it a little more room so this isn't cutting it off, overlaying it. Okay, so you can see here, want to reflow that, maybe cut it down, but see how it looks when you update your display, your desktop. All right. Yeah, I don't think we need this white Maybe it's just white text instead of that box. All right. I'm excited to see where this goes. Okay. Great start. Nice image, by the way. It's a good quality image. Okay. I can see exactly what you do, and that's great. I think this needs to be on one line. Okay. This tells me just what you do. I just want to see how to cut it down. I don't think you need it twice for sure. Okay. If you want to put your name here and then just this, that's fine. But we've duplicated here unnecessarily. And again, okay. So let's not do that. We need to update and have no placeholder text, okay, or images. And if I were you, I would go into this image and I would copy stamp this background over here. Okay, so it's not right behind your head so we can see your head. That's what I would do if it were me. Okay, your link is working, but let's get everything above the scroll. Okay, let's bring all that up, right? Otherwise, nice image. We've got a lot of dead space. This is fine. We need to close that space up. I think this probably links. Okay, but let's get into it quicker. Let's get into this. All right. And this doesn't need a whole section like this. All right. Put something here, or just an icon that links to your mail. That icon could work. All right, but that way we can get into it quicker. Otherwise, it is working for you. Nice. Okay. Looking at, okay, your titles are good. That's very lightweight, but I think it's probably okay for most people. And again, we want to get this image up and up. It almost feels like an ADI, the artificial design intelligence that Wix produces. So this is fine. This is fine. If this is anywhere else, it needs to come out. All right. Be careful with this. This may have to come over a little bit to clear this. And I don't think this needs to be here. Let's use white font if we're going to use white font here. I understand you can't put it here, so you're going to have to push it over a little bit. Work with that. Try to be somewhat consistent. You know, you could say weddings. I mean, let's left align that. And then say, you know, we provide beautiful, long-lasting wedding video coverage. I mean, I don't know, I'm torn. That might work if you get it in the right place. But again, I'm not sold on changing to black and white in the same phrase there. Okay, let's put this on one line like this. And this looks a little bolder than this. Could just be the lettering. When I look at those, the eye, I feel like it's bold. Check that out. Okay, just take out a little bit of white space, just a little there. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Can't see your mobile. Yeah, there it is. Sorry. I hope I didn't do that on the others. I'll have to check. Okay. Clean. Just, reduce some of that verbiage. A little harder to read now. Okay. May not need that. Yeah. So that's going to take some work there to work on, right? Your contrast. Take out all the blank space. Okay. Close up just a little. And, you could have an asset guide down here instead of this. Try and get into your work sooner, okay? And one way to do that is trying to get that reduced. It could be videographer and editor, okay? We don't need to do both, at least not on your mobile. All right. So I think you have some significant or sufficient feedback to keep working. And you've got a great start, and I'm excited to see what happens when you make just a few changes. All right. Great. I like that you have your verse there. This logo needs to be much larger, probably align with this. Okay, so we can see it. Intriguing image captures my attention right away. Consider left aligning. Consider left alignment. Good, this is linked up. Carry over your brand. This may need to be just a little bit bigger. Okay. Everyone think about whether you want your phone number on your site or not. These so far work together well. You've got a mixture of black and white and color, but you use them throughout. Okay. And just like, I know you shot this, but you can see it's got blue casts. You could actually pick up some of your warm casts. You probably don't believe in filtering, but you could make it blend a little easier if you just made it slightly sepia and not much, just to blend with that, or place it someplace else. Nice, interesting work. This is really interesting, and that might be one that you would bring up to the top. I get that you have the family shots here, but decide, on what you think you're going to do more of. And if it's the family shots, great. But if it's more fashion and artistic shots, then start with those. Okay. Nice work. Okay, and you have your design work. This probably needs to be reduced a little bit, and I am viewing it at the actual size. It could be my browser is different from yours, but we want to make sure that your thumbnails are actually where you don't have things cut off. Like this works very well. You've got padding around it. You always want padding. This works okay because we still get a good view of the face and we can read it. Super cute. Be careful because of brands. We don't own Mario, so we can't use it in your site. You're able to until you become graduated, and then at that point you're no longer protected under fair use laws. Right? As students you are, but not when you graduate. So I always recommend students refrain from using anything that is trademarked or has copyright on it. Okay. Okay, this is nice and clear. Okay. I feel like this is a header, a banner of sorts, and that it would be higher up. If you were able to do that and still have your booking and contact. Okay. You may want a contact button here that goes here, and I wouldn't have anything on that page. Just so that's usually what people want to know immediately how to contact you. Okay. Okay. Bigger. Hmm. Okay. Let's make sure that for your mobile site you have fewer lines stacking here. Could just be this, and this could go somewhere else on the bottom. And all of this space needs to close up. Okay. So basically the same things we've been saying on some of the other sites. Okay. All right. You might only need one from each shoot, one or two from each shoot instead of three from each shoot for your mobile for sure. Then see how you like that. Again, make your thumbnail smaller like this so that we have some padding. All right. Okay. And a page for your contact that will look like this. And then have your mobile hamburger stacked menu. All right. Great job. I'm really looking forward to seeing all these. All right. Back to what? That I'm not sure about. So watch out for that. Interesting treatment here. And okay, so I'm guessing these go to a blog. Interesting. The way these are laid out. So you can have these juxtaposed like this, butted up together because they work together. Okay. Okay, that's kind of a new color popping up. Okay. All right, everyone likes to read these stories. I'm not sure this is working for you. And this, maybe it's bold, but maybe it just needs to be tamed a little bit because it's vibrating the combination together. If I do this, what happens? And consider left aligning. This, isn't quite working for me. Maybe if it were red and it went along here, consider that. Or black with just a little bit of a drop shadow of sorts. Think about it. I do like your social media and how they are transparent. I do like that. I think that that's okay. Got to look at your brand guides for those companies. And I'm not sure you need to break this canvas up like that. I think all black with white might be stronger. All right. Yeah, see, these are working a little better than this. I realize it's now here you do switch up fonts. I'm not sure you need to do that. Maybe this would be better in this font style. Could be white. Not that you need to do this again. Okay. I'm not sure about that back. Cut that down, probably left a line, make sure there's enough. Okay, this is cool. That works well with this, but this needs to go down here. I'm not sure this is you. Okay, we go to all videos. I'm not sure you need a separate page for that. Okay, we want to be very careful about sending them off to your site. Maybe that's on your contact page. Okay, so yeah, look through your mobile. And this has to go at the bottom, probably white on black. Okay. But I trust you're going to be able to pull this off. Get rid of this. Disable that. Okay. No templates. Okay. You can see what it does to your site. All right. Great start. Looking forward to seeing where this goes. Okay, Hollow Heart. I can read this, Media Production Company. Okay. Try and align that with this, but it's not so bad. And try not to have one word on a line. It's best if these all have the same number of lines. And make sure you are hooked up to your brand. Okay. All right. This is all matching. Okay. So I'm not listening to that one right now, but try not to repeat. I'm not sure you are. They may be different. Okay. Hold on here. Okay. Your home and your portfolio are the same page. So let's not do that. The only difference is your About, Focus, and Contact Us. So, and that doesn't need to be so much. So this is really your portfolio page. Your home is just going to be an introduction to your services, but I wouldn't have it just this. Maybe it's a different image, but yeah, right now there's some duplication there. This doesn't feel like your brand, and I know we see this sometimes. I just don't like it. I think it's trendy, or sometimes it's created by mistake when someone hasn't changed or eliminated a format where they need to, or maybe they think that it's going to look fine over white and then it doesn't. So, if you want to do it this way, put a box that has transparency instead of every line being like that. Just do a box that's 20% black or something and see what happens, or 20% white. Yeah. So think about this. Look at some of the others. Think about that. Okay. And yet it's cut like that again. So same thing, and provide padding for sure. Okay. This is the sort of thing that probably can go kind of along the bottom of a page, whether it's a contact page or something. It's not vital. So yeah, just think about how to have fewer pieces. That's one of the things here. Let's make it a whole. All right. Terrific start. Terrific start. Yeah, maybe that's very bright compared to what you're doing in other places. So, all right. Great start. I'm looking forward to seeing how this plays out. Okay, so we need to optimize the videos. We need to make it to where we can see. You can see you're being cut off there, which is a thought I had, but you have Follow Heart Media there. So, how you would crop yourself in your profile is a question. That needs to be higher contrast, again, padding, everything we said about the desktop applies. Okay. All right. So I'm looking forward to seeing this. This could be centered or brought all the way across. All right. Good job. Okay. I immediately want to figure out what this is all about. It is hard to read this text, so I don't think it needs to be there. I think the image is compelling. I think we want to edit this down as much as we can. So I think I would put Griffin Rock Productions and Photography Studio, or Griffin Rock Studio, whatever you're calling it. Okay. But I think it needs to be over here or over here, and it needs to be less wordy. If you can, but definitely not over this image. This is a great image. We can't really read the font. I don't want to read it. I want to see the picture. Creating movies while creating change. That's great. Can't read the font because, again, it's that soft, narrow stroke. But that definitely should be somewhere, I hate to mess with this beautiful black space, but, maybe it's lower or simpler. Maybe it's just right here, but it needs to be easier to read, and this needs to come out and go someplace else. If you don't need all these, different tabs, then that's a good thing to do. Because you have all this black space, I'm not a big fan of drop down, but you could say portfolio, have videos, and photography, or you could say videos and just put photography as a drop down. Let's see if you need this. Okay, this is very cluttered and needs to be simpler. You guys who are photographers, start taking background photos for yourself. So Griffin Rock Productions, fine, put that up there. Okay, but this needs simplifying. Okay. Okay, some padding here. Okay, interesting. I would probably not have the two tones here. I'd probably get rid of this line and have it black all the way down. Maybe close this up just a little. Like I said, bring this over. And your contact is going to be last. Okay. Let's push this over into this paragraph. And that will change that. Okay, so you have your logo here. Okay. Okay. It's scrolling, but it tells us what you do. And for a production company, that's kind of important. But it's confusing now. Make sure you say Remy McNamara is Griffin Rock Productions, okay? Somewhere, like right here. Okay, we just don't need this background. It's really pulling down your work, all right? Good. You have your asset guides. Not that if you want to put two up, fine. If you want to have them all up here and put them in a gallery, that is scrolling or something, okay, but let's not lose it by putting it over another image like that. Happens all the time. And okay, so this is clean. This background works if you want to use it throughout. Nice. Nice. Okay? All right, keep it simple. Keep it simple. We just want to see your work. Get your logo up here, probably, so you can keep this where it is. Get your logo over here, reduce the number. And this can go under videos, scars. We know that's a title. Okay, and then contact. And think about that. Clean these up a little bit. Maybe something simpler. And white. All right. All right. Okay. Your logo here, bring these to the bottom. Okay. And we need to be able to see our menu. Okay. Yeah, so sort this out. No duplicates. Try to stay away, as the photographer, stay away from stock images. We want to see what you do. You don't have to have an image for everything. These things, I want to see your images, all right? And I don't remember if this was yours or not. On your site before, I thought maybe it was. So, but you can reduce it, not so much scrolling. Okay, so it's okay that you do this and then just book. Maybe reduce some of this stuff, right, on that page. Okay. So center that, but put it at the top or at the bottom left. I mean, at the left on here. Move those down. Okay. You only need these once. Put those here and bring that up a little bit. All right. I can't wait to see this. I can't wait to see what's going on. Put a contact at the end. All right. Good work, everybody. Okay, this is intense. And so black, very good. And you have all of these. Ordinarily, I don't like drop down menus because they cover content. So keep that in mind. In that situation, maybe you want it to be vertical and it would come down like that. Something to think about. But it's looking good. Simple, simple. Nice, okay. All right. Go for the white or the black here. All right. Okay. Simplify your text. Try not to use too many types, only two. All right. Move those down and see if you can. Okay. Remove any added space that we don't need. And be careful about content that's over, but that's okay because it disappears. Okay, so got that plus there. Okay, let's see if it gives me a drop down. Okay. You want to shorten some of those if you can, tighten them up a little. Maybe not put as many on your mobile if you're able to do that without removing it. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. Okay, bring that down. All right, nice work. You might want to put this in a sans serif under here. It would go well with a serif. All right. All right. Let's see. One more. Hi, Luis. This is a great introduction. Make sure that if that's a name brand, we get rid of that because, as I say, as a student, you're safe, but not as a professional. Let's just make this logo bigger, I think. I mean, it works. It's just we can't really read this, so maybe it's not something that goes together there, and it's enough to be here. Terrific on your tagline. You tell us exactly what you do. And here, this is a little problematic because of this tie. We can't read it, so the visual is good, but maybe we need to somehow replace this, place it someplace else or below. Maybe bring this up a little so that we get into this a little quicker. There's a lot of space here. So we bring that up, and then maybe that can go maybe down here even. It's tricky with that tie being white. All right. Let's see. Good. I don't even mind that it is center aligned. Typically, we left align. It's easier for people to read. Their eye returns to the same place, and technically that's supposed to be easier. It also gives you a straight edge, which isn't as big a deal here because it's just one column. This should be cropped if you're going to use it. I'm not sure it's your best resolution, but I don't know that it isn't, because this is clear. But let's crop it, and I think it's going to look sharper. If you're able to make it larger, that would be good. This needs to be broken up into about this much, or this, and definitely when I say broken up, more than one paragraph, the way it is here, and left aligned, and edit down. What you want to focus on is what you can do for your client. So instead of, let's see, it's great that you talk about your kids, but that might be a very final thing, something that personal. You want to talk about what you can do. I know it's about you, but really, you want to talk about what you can do for your client, what it is about you that you can do for them. Okay? Maybe, excuse me, the layout's good. We don't have asset guides, so that's kind of a thing. Okay, okay, good. You're staying on your site. That's important. Okay, it's good, except here you have type overlapping, but not too bad. You might have another thumbnail for that. But otherwise, it's looking really good. I do want to see some asset guides for this. Let us know what you did, what your role was. Okay. Specifically, because sometimes it's different for each project. Okay, so here is a good place to put an asset guide. So this is looking really good. You may want just to say, what your role was and who the client was. Short film is probably fine. And this sounds more like a description of the scene. So you want a description of the project. Okay. This could actually be a profile shot, except for this. You'd have to do something about that. But it could be for your about or bio, nice. And you can just say personal shot or whatever, a profile, or, this is clear, it's good. Okay, well, okay, so capturing a night shot with proper exposure and framing. Okay. Okay. All right. So really, we've got the gallery and we've got projects. Okay. That could even be a drop down so that you don't have so many pages here. Okay. Clean. Clean. Good, good. Good. That's a good look. Hmm. You might even, I mean, this is really clean. I like it. I think you need to probably, I don't know if you need that there. Could be on the bottom or just on your contact. But I'm wondering, I mean, it looks good. I'm just wondering what it would look like if the banner was black. No, it's fine. I have to think about these things sometimes. Okay, this is a cool shot. I really like it, in fact. Um, Parts of it would be good for a banner, like back here. There was room for this right here. I do like that. Okay, oh, there's too much scrolling though. This would come up tighter. And here's the thing about the resume. Right now it's a picture of words and it looks good. It can be a downloadable, but the thumbnail is cut off. That's not going to work for you. The other thing is all of this has to be entered content. As far as, and put some little spacing there, it has to be entered because it's not searchable. Nobody can find this. It's just a picture of words. And so, you know, this is something we find a lot, but it can be a downloadable. And look at Wix, they have different icons. They have a gray Acrobat logo that might work for you instead of the red one. And you just have to enter this as a page. So all this content is searchable. Okay. Okay. I do want to see a little bit of yellow. Yeah, I mean, this white space is, you know, so yeah, this white space is something I think that is a little troubling. The way it, you know, breaks here and cuts off. So that's just something to think about. I think the color would be nice up here. That. All right, but still, you know, we've done a great job making sure that there's not a lot of scrolling, and everything is pretty much above the scroll for the most part. You know, this is working well. Yeah. Okay. You might consider a black background up here. Bring. Let's see. But this works really well. All right, great job. I can't see your mobile, so I have no comments for you there. Make sure you check it and see how it's reflowing and things like that. And I look forward to seeing submissions later. Great job, you guys. Really happy with what you've been able to do in a week.